I am going to be reading a document that I have put together for you. And I'll also send you a copy of this document if it's easier for you to read. But I kind of thought if I sent a video, then you can kind of listen to it at your own pace. Whenever if you're driving or doing the dishes, laundry, whatever, you can just hit play and listen. So you don't necessarily have to watch me. But sometimes I kind of like videos just for that reason. But I will also send you a document if you are interested. Okay, so this is on law of attraction and what it has done for me in my life, how I've kind of started implementing it. And I do want to let you know I'm not licensed. I'm not a licensed health coach, life coach, law of attraction coach. I'm not any of that. So I'm just a normal person. I'm Katie. I'm just like you. I've just found something in law of attraction that has stuck to me, and it's helped me so much in my life within the short time that I've been implementing it, and I am wanting to share this with you. So hopefully you can start practicing law of attraction into your everyday life and start reaping the benefits that it has to offer. Okay. So my interest with law of attraction peaked in the spring of last year. One of my mentors was struggling with personal issues in her own life, and she started implementing the law of attraction into her life. I was amazed with how quickly her life was turning around and blessings were accruing. I was a little skeptical at first. She was super positive. All of these good things, like really good things, were happening to her. I feel like being skeptical is a normal reaction at first. When you're first hearing about the law of attraction, it can sound kind of weird, kind of iffy. In fact, I feel like it's normal to be skeptical until you really start implementing the practice into your own life. I felt like it doesn't hurt to try, and I felt like also, if I didn't notice anything from trying, I didn't necessarily lose anything. In fact, maybe I'll learn something. So it never hurts to try. If you're curious, you might as well jump in and give it a try, guys. So last summer, my curiosity grew enough for me to want to implement this into my own life. I was at a crossroads with not knowing what I wanted to do with my life as far as quitting my full-time coding job to fulfill my Lime Life career / focus on my healing journey, or did I want to stay in my current job and continue the same road of misery, health declining, workload rising, yada yada. Not a very fun time to be in. So in September of 2018, the same mentor that sparked my interest in this journey is the same person that started a challenge in our group we're a part of. The challenge was from The Secret, which can be found on YouTube, but I'll also send you the link. If you're interested, please let me know. And I want to make sure that you're getting the correct link is really all that I want to do that for. So it went something like this. We listened to this recording from The Secret. It was about 30 minutes long. And then every day for the next 30 days, we implemented what that video told us to do. The biggest thing was replacing every single negative thought with a positive. This was a huge eye-opener for me because it really brought to life just how often I had negative thoughts creep up in my everyday life. That is negative energy that you're welcoming into your life with every thought that passes, and it's kind of scary. The only things that you need to complete this challenge are a note card and your mind. So, and again, that was such a huge eye-opener for me because you think you're a positive person, like you think you're pretty decent at that, and then once you start forcing yourself to realize every negative thought that comes in your mind, whether it's getting ready in the morning, on your commute to work, just putting lunches together for your kids, cooking dinner, like something at work, all of these negative things add up and you're attracting them. And it's so interesting and it's so crazy, but I promise this stuff is so real. So the blog inspiration is coming from my best friend, who's also one of my Lime Life sisters. She has been coming to me wanting me to teach her my ways. One of my strengths is being able to pick on tasks easily. Any job I've ever had, I've been a quick learner. I'm a hands-on type of learner. Show me what I need to do and I will dabble around until I've found my perfect formula. Hence my Lime Life. Not to brag because I'm not a bragging person. I'm very humble and I'm very grateful. But I picked up on Lime Life very quickly. I found my niche. I found how to kind of advertise myself and my brand, and I found what worked for me really quickly. I've had people tell me from the beginning of my journey with Lime Life that I was so good at what I do, or I'm a natural, and at first I thought they were just being nice, but the more people that came out of nowhere to tell me that, I started to believe them and started to view myself as such. I'm good at what I do and I'm confident in what I do. That's what the law of attraction has helped me with, finding the good in myself. And there's nothing wrong with being confident and knowing your strengths and your weaknesses. However, one of my weaknesses is teaching someone how to do what I do successfully. Because I am such a hands-on learner, I expect others who join me or ask me for advice to also be hands-on learners. And that's not always the case. And then as I'm typing this, I said, oh my gosh, this is such an aha moment for me to experience, because I get all of this info in my brain and just roll with it. And then someone asks me how to do what I do, and it's like I have diarrhea of the mouth and the brain, and it's like my brain suddenly goes on overdrive, mini anxiety attack on how I'm going to transfer all of this information out of my head into someone else's head while having it make sense to you. It's like you could probably feel my energy just for me explaining that, on how tongue-tied it makes me. That's a weakness I have, and it's something that I want to work on, because I do have all of this good information that I've been implementing into my own life, but I want to be able to portray that to other people and help other people. So that's something that I'm working on. And I'm also using law of attraction as a method of allowing this transfer out of me. So this is the first time I'm doing something like this, experiencing something like this. So please be very patient with me. Something that is very helpful, kind of a repeat, is to keep positivity around me at all times. Keeping my thoughts positive. This is something I struggle with, but I've gotten a lot better with. If I'm feeling a certain way, mad, sad, lonely, etc., I ask myself, why do I feel this way? Did something happen? Am I in my own head? I think of a positive. Around the holidays, I find myself struggling a lot. I get into a slump. I'm always homesick around this time of the year. It never, ever fails. So something I would replace my negative thoughts with were how blessed I am to be with my son and be with my husband. I may not be in the literal state I want to be in, but I am healthy, I am alive, I have a fun-spirited, loving son. My husband is working to provide for us. I would text or call my family around that time. I will meditate. I would do these things that would make me happy, like getting myself a coffee from my favorite coffee shop. And for me, my job is something that brings a lot of happiness. So I indulged more of myself in life around the holidays. So it doesn't matter what it is that's making you sad or angry. I'm trying to think. I know I just had another moment of this. When it comes to my mind, I'll let you know, but it came after I wrote all of this out. But things happen all of the time, and that's something that I feel like people think that just because I'm indulged with law of attraction and I practice law of attraction every day doesn't mean that I don't have slumps of negativity. It doesn't mean that I don't have days where I'm like, what the heck is going on? How is this happening? This is not what I wanted. I don't want this card anymore. I still have those waves. I'm a normal person, but it's the niche of getting yourself out of that as quickly as you can. Just because something negative happens, you have to immediately think of a positive and get yourself out of it before it consumes you, and that in return is what you're attracting to yourself. So something that really helps me with this to stay on a positive track is surrounding myself with like-minded people. It's hard to find like-minded people face to face, but don't let that stop you. So there are tons of online communities on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, etc., where there are like-minded people for you to connect with. So another thing that is very helpful for me is to listen to podcasts or audiobooks that are geared around the law of attraction. Constantly have yourself surrounded with this mindset. One of my favorite books currently is The 4 Agreements. I highly recommend it. It's on Amazon for $7. So that's The 4 Agreements. Another good book is The Secret, which I will say you can also now watch The Secret on Netflix, and I highly encourage watching it. I don't remember if it's an hour or maybe an hour and a half long. It's kind of boring at first because it's kind of monotone, and it's kind of, you just have to stick with it, and it's so good. I'm obsessed with watching it now. So, and that is what really kind of got me in the mindset of what you think you attract. If you are thinking about all these negative things that are happening in your life, you're going to keep attracting them. You don't want to, but you're not thinking on how to not attract them. And that's the key. So maybe you really want more money, but you're so stuck on the thought of how much debt you have. How true is that? Like, I'll raise my hand all day long, because we all have debt and we all want out of that debt. But all we do is we think about, I'm in so much debt. I can't do that because I'm in debt. I have all these bills coming and I'm in debt because I don't know how to get myself out of it. And all of those thoughts, every single time that you think about your debt, you're attracting your debt. And it's just the law. It's the law of attraction, just like the law of gravity. If you jump, you're always going to come down, because that's a law of gravity. You're never going to jump one day and just magically, keep floating unless you're in space. Like, that's not how the law of gravity works. Just like that's not how the law of attraction works. So you have to change your mindset. And I'm going to dabble a little more on the money aspect, because that is something that is near and dear to my heart. So, okay, I'm so sorry. I got a phone call, and I needed to answer because I wasn't sure who it was. But I am going to dabble around with you guys on how to attract money and how I've been accruing these blessings in my life. So I kind of want to start with, before I knew whether or not to quit my job, I started, I've always prayed. I don't go to church regularly, haven't been in a very long time. But I'm also not the type of person that has the mindset of thinking if you don't go to church, you don't have a relationship with God, because I think that's kind of insane. I do have a relationship with God. I do pray all the time. I have my son pray. My son knows who God is, but I'm also a very spiritual person, and I am a full, firm believer in the universe, and that's where the law of attraction kind of ties into all of that. And, I started praying and meditating before I quit my job, and I wanted signs. I needed specific signs to guide me, and signs are going to be different for everybody. And for me, one of the signs that I always got when I started, really praying and meditating and asking the universe, like, is this what I need to be doing? Like, I'm miserable in my health and I don't know what to do, so I need you to show me signs. And for me, I love the sky. I think the sky is one of the most beautiful things to look at, and one of my favorite visions to see the sky is when there's just the clouds are placed in the most perfect place, and it's cloudy, but then the sun shines straight through the clouds, and it's just this beautiful image. And it was every day for a week and a half straight, I would drop my son off at school and pull out of the parking lot, and that's all I would see. It's my whole vision was just clouded with this ray of sunshine shining through these clouds, and that was an affirmation for me. So I would and I know that might sound silly, especially if you're not familiar with the law of attraction and how these things work, but for me, that was just an affirmation that I needed. And there were all kinds of little things happening like that were affirmations. Some of them were small things like that, and some of them were bigger. And so, I kind of want to go back to money. That was such a huge thing for me, because when I worked my full-time job, it felt like I had 3 incomes, because I had my full-time paycheck. I worked 50 to 60 hours every single week, so I had tons of overtime, and that was almost like another paycheck on top of that. Plus I had Lime Life, and I do pretty well with Lime Life. So I had 3 paychecks every single month, which helped us pay, we were able to put so much money towards our debt. And then I dropped to Lime Life, just my Lime Life check. And that was a big sacrifice for us to make, but it was a sacrifice that was needed for my health. I was declining, and I was going to keep declining until I would have been so sick that I wouldn't be doing any jobs. That's just the route that I was on with how busy my schedule was. So I needed, I was already really into law of attraction, but I needed to know how to manifest money. And I also didn't really know how to manage my time. I went from having a crazy busy schedule to a schedule where I could literally do anything I wanted, and I did not know how to handle my time or myself. So I actually started working with a life coach briefly, just enough to get me a schedule and to help me manifest what it is that I was wanting. So this is something, and maybe you don't need help with, getting yourself out of debt, but if you do, This is what I do every single morning and every single night. I have time to myself. Anywhere, I like to have 10 minutes at least to myself every morning of quiet, and every night 10 minutes to myself. And sometimes I'll just sit and meditate. Sometimes I'll do a little bit of yoga, but I have positive affirmations that I say every single morning, and I say them every single night. And I'm going to share them with you because they're not a secret. Like, the universe has enough abundance for everybody. It's just how your mindset is going to attract it, or whether you're going to attract it or not. So for me, my affirmations for money are, I say that I'm attracted to, or what do I say? Money is attracted to me. I am a money magnet. I am earning a certain amount of money every month. So you will fill in that blank. Whether you want to earn $500 a month, $10,000 a month, you write these down. Fill in your blank. I am earning $10,000 a month. I am worthy of all good things coming my way. You say those every single morning, and you say those every single night. And sometimes it seems silly because you start saying, like my first month that I started doing these affirmations was January. And I started manifesting that I was earning $3,000 every single month, and we got it. And it doesn't always come in the form that you're expecting it. And that's something to know because, for me, I'm doing Len Life. That was my only job at the time. And so I was just waiting on that to start accruing, and it came in a completely different form. But I manifested $3,000 to earn the month of January. And so I bumped it up. The end of January, after I earned that, I now say, every morning and every night, I say, I am a money magnet. Money is attracted to me. I'm earning $5,000 every month, and I'm worthy of all good things coming my way. And you say that, and you say it as many times as you need to. Say it for a full 10 minutes if you have to. And at first, it's almost like you're going to have like a battle with your mind, because you'll say, I'm earning $3,000 this month. And in your mind, it's like, okay, well, you're not, so move along. But you have to keep going with it. Because the more that you tell yourself that, the more it's going to happen. You start believing it, and it just happens. It comes to you. And I know this can sound insane. It can sound crazy. You can laugh if you want. You don't even have to implement it. I'll keep implementing it because it's working in my life. It's just kind of one of those things that, and it kind of goes back to what you think you become. What you're thinking about is what you're attracting into your life. If all you're thinking about is negative things, you're going to keep attracting negative things. It's just how the law of attraction works. So those are my positive affirmations that I've been saying, because that's really what I'm focusing on right now in my life. And then we become more passionate about the things we don't want. Those become our thoughts, which leads to what we are attracting. So if you are worried or in fear, you are bringing more of that into your everyday life. If you're happy, you're bringing more happiness into your life. And it's really about being obedient. You want to do this obediently. You want to be consistent. You want to be everything. Think about your job. You wake up every morning and you're so obedient to that place of work, and you go there every day, day in and day out. You are so obedient to that. Why not be obedient to yourself and give yourself the permission, allow yourself to really hone in on these affirmations? And I'll help you with affirmations. Maybe you don't even need to hear those money affirmations. Maybe you need affirmations, just a list of things to say every morning and every night to really help you have a more positive outlook on life, or just, be a better person. Like, I can help you find the affirmations that are really going to be pinpointed towards what you're trying to manifest. And they're ever changing. I may not do the same money affirmations every day for the rest of my life, but that's the point where I am in my life right now. So that's just something to keep in mind, that you want to be obedient. You want to be loyal. You owe this to yourself. You give so much of yourself to everyone else around you, but you put yourself in the corner, and you don't deserve that. So I want to encourage you to put yourself first. And I hear this all the time, especially from my mom friends, that they put themselves last all the time. And I just, sometimes, when people say that I do certain things for myself, I show myself self-love every single day, at least one form of self-love, because I deserve it. And I will tell people that, and they're like, oh my gosh, how do you do that? I would feel so guilty. And it's mind-blowing to me, because you're stuck in that mindset where I have flipped my switch, and I'm in the mindset where if I don't give myself at least one form of self-love consistently every single day, I'm a horrible mother and I'm a horrible wife. And that's just point blank. I know that because I've been there. I suffered through postpartum depression so bad, and sometimes it's like, it almost makes me want to be pregnant again, because I know so much more now than what I did then. And there's just a completely different way of life and a completely different way of living, and you don't have to be, you don't have to feel guilty. Even if you're not a mother, you deserve to put yourself first, because you are a person and you matter. Like, you have to give yourself self-love. You have to indulge in it in some shape or form, and it can be free. Sit for 10 minutes in a quiet room or with your favorite music. Do yoga, go for a walk, and it doesn't have to be this crazy exercise. Just go for a light walk. If you're inside in the cold weather, read your favorite book. I don't know, drink hot chocolate. And if you're dieting, this is my thing. If you're dieting, that's great. I'm all for, living a healthy life and being healthy. But you know what? Sometimes a form of self-love is just indulging in your favorite home-cooked meal, not healthy at all, or a favorite drink. Just do it. Do something for yourself every single day, no matter what it is. That is going to come in different shapes and sizes. It can be a free form of self-love, or it can cost you money, whatever your preference is. Some people love spending money on themselves, and others are frugal, and that's perfectly fine, but you have to do it. So something else that I did that was very helpful, and this may not be helpful for you, but for me, I'm on social media a lot. I run an online business. So, and even if you don't have an online business, but you're just someone that's on social media a lot, like my husband, this is something good for you to implement into your life. And I did a refresh on my social media pages. I'm on Facebook and Instagram. So I cleaned house, so to speak. I really took time to focus on my newsfeed to see what I was actually looking at. Even if it was aimlessly scrolling that we so often do, seeing any sort of negativity sticks in your mind. News posts are shared all day long, like people are getting paid to share these news articles. Okay, and if you're someone that shares news articles, I'm not bashing you, but I hide you. I hide any negativity that I see, I hide it. Yeah, I know what's going on in the world, but I can't obsess over it, because I know what it does in my life. And there are things that make me in the news that make me angry, and that's okay. I deal with that in my own way. So I look for things like that. I'm like, who is posting negative things? If I have someone on my newsfeed that is constantly posting about their horrible day, and it's 8 o'clock in the morning or 9 o'clock at night, I either delete them if we don't talk at all, or I just hide them. You have that option on Facebook too. There's a little 3 dots in the corner of someone's post. Click on it and hide. You can hide for 30 days, maybe give them a chance and they'll become positive, or just hide them forever. They'll never know. I hide people left and right because I don't want that negativity in my life, and that's okay. That's my life. It's my newsfeed. So you have that option. So I wanted to focus on what I was actually seeing, even if it was just a quick scroll. I cleared house. This is still a work in progress, but I've made pretty good dent so far. Any groups that you belong to that show up in your newsfeed, if those no longer serve you, leave the group. I have been in so many groups. I actually have a group for my Lime life, and if it doesn't serve you, you can leave it. That's okay. You're not gonna hurt my feelings. You may be in a group for anything. Like I left some groups of diet groups that didn't interest me, that maybe I had only joined so I wouldn't hurt someone's feelings. And I had to get that thought out of my head. If me leaving a group that you own is gonna hurt your feelings, I don't belong in that group anyways. And, that's just my outlook, because I don't view my relationship with someone based on the group that they have or whether or not I'm in it. That's silly. That is social media. That's not real life. So, that's just another way. That is a form that I switch my mind. I don't let someone else's feelings overrule mine. My feelings are ultimately what matter to me. So if there's a negative group that I'm in, or it just no longer serves me, I get out of it or hide it, unfollow it. If they no longer serve you, they're taking up space for new groups to come in that will serve you. You guys, there are so many groups on Facebook, fun groups that you can be a part of. If you have an Instapot and you're new to it, join an Instapot group for newbies. If you are, following a paleo lifestyle or vegan, follow a group like that. If you're obsessed with your animals, no matter what animals they are, dog, goat, cats, rats, like there are Facebook groups for that. Join them and you will find so many like-minded people. It's really, I was kind of iffy about that at first, but once I started joining them, I've actually met people from all over the world with the same interests as me that I never would have met if I wouldn't have opened my mind to join a group of something that I was interested in. So it's really kind of cool. Excuse me. So, and it's the same thing with people. Are there certain people or a person that are always posting or sharing content that is negative? Anything that is negative to you, it doesn't have to be negative to me, but it has to be negative to you. It doesn't mean that the person sharing these finds them negative, but you do find them negative. If that's the case, delete that friend and or, just hide them from your newsfeed. I belong to a law of attraction group on Facebook, so now that is something that surfaces through my newsfeed every single day. So even if I am getting caught up in my, newsfeed scroll that we all do, I'm not seeing all these negative posts anymore because I've hid them from my newsfeed. I'm seeing all of these attractive law of attraction posts that are positive, they're uplifting, and they empower me. And that's something that I do. And every time I do a scroll, I see positivity from that group and the other groups that I'm in. So I recommend doing the same thing on your Facebook, and then do it on your Instagram account too. Instagram makes it so easy for you because you can follow a person or hashtags. I think you can do that on Facebook too, but I'm way more into Instagram for hashtagging. So if someone's on Instagram is always being negative or gives you a negative feeling, you just unfollow them. Unfollow as many people or as many groups who no longer serve you because they're blocking other good forms of energy into your life. And I think that a lot of you can relate to that scenario. So I challenge you to go into your social media platforms, get rid of people. I actually have a girl on my Instagram. She lives in New Mexico. I've never met her in my life. We were connected on Instagram just from common interest. And I want to meet her. I don't know if I would travel to New Mexico, but or like a middle ground for us, but I want to meet her because we have so much in common and we met through social media. So it's just, you have to change your mindset, and it's a work in progress. I don't want you to think that all of this comes easy to me because it doesn't. I still struggle from time to time. And, I don't want you to think that it's something that's going to happen overnight or in a week or in 2 weeks. You may have to practice this consistently for a month or 2 months or 3 months before you really start seeing these happen. But I encourage you to do that YouTube challenge, and please let me know if you are interested, and I'll send you the link for it. It's really, really cool. And the thing is, you start it for 30 days, and if by day 29 you mess up, you start all over. So, and I know it can be kind of annoying, but it helps hold you accountable because you want to get yourself in that habit. You want to be formed to, when that negativity starts creeping up like it's going to, you need to shoot it down instantly. And that's what keeps you going, and that's what keeps you positive. I even have people in my daily life that I can't talk to sometimes, and that's okay. I don't tell them like, hey, I can't talk to you because your energy sucks. Like, I'm not going to say that to someone because not everybody understands what I'm doing, or not everyone really is in tune with their energy and how they may come off to someone else. It's not about being rude to people. It's about putting yourself first and really honing in on how you feel and how certain people make you feel. So I hope that this is helpful. If you have any questions, please let me know. I would appreciate your feedback because this is my first time doing anything like this. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great day. Bye guys.